History has its fair share of well-known kings, queens, and conquerors figures who are immortalized in textbooks. But what about the lesser-known heroes, the ones whose stories are often hidden in the shadows? These unsung figures didn't seek fame, yet their actions shaped the world in profound ways. Today, we uncover 5 remarkable individuals whose contributions were nothing short of transformative, but whose names remain largely unknown to the general public. Let's delve into their extraordinary journeys. Mansa Sakura's story begins in the heart of West Africa, within the Mali Empire, a kingdom that once held a place of immense power and wealth. Born into slavery, Mansa Sakura's path to power was nothing short of extraordinary. His journey from slave to emperor is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. Sakura's rise came after the death of the previous emperor. At a time when empires were defined by their wealth and territorial dominance, Mansa Sakura focused on expanding Mali's borders and strengthening its economy through trade. He understood the importance of gold, which flowed through the empire, and utilized it to forge alliances with neighboring kingdoms. Under his leadership, the Mali Empire grew stronger, establishing itself as a major player on the global stage, with a vast network of trade routes connecting the empire to the Mediterranean and the Middle East. Mansa Sakura's rule was marked by a strategic emphasis on diplomacy and economic growth. His achievements demonstrated that greatness could emerge from even the most unassuming beginnings, and his reign serves as a symbol of how potential can be realized through determination and vision. Irena Sendler's story is one of unimaginable courage in the face of pure evil. A Polish social worker during World War II, Irena's efforts to save Jewish children from the horrors of the Holocaust are still largely unknown outside of Poland. In Nazi-occupied Warsaw, she became a key figure in the Jagota resistance, a group dedicated to rescuing Jews. Over the course of several years, Irena smuggled more than 2,500 Jewish children out of the Warsaw Ghetto, often disguising them as non-Jewish children or using false identities. She hid them in convents, orphanages, and with other Polish families, saving them from certain death. Despite being arrested and tortured by the Gestapo, Irena refused to betray her mission. She documented the names of the children she saved, hoping that one day their families would be reunited. Irena's actions were nothing short of heroic. Her story reminds us that in times of overwhelming darkness, there are still rays of hope, often provided by those who take extraordinary risks to save others. While the world may not have known her name then, her legacy as a selfless rescuer is now becoming more widely recognized. Nzinga Mbande, a 17th-century queen, is a name synonymous with resistance and resilience in the face of colonization. Ruling the kingdom of Ndongo in modern-day Angola, Nzinga is best remembered for her unwavering resistance against Portuguese colonization, a struggle that would last for over 4 decades. In 1624, at the age of 34, Nzinga was sent as an emissary to negotiate with the Portuguese. It was here that she famously sat on the floor during a meeting with the Portuguese governor, who had placed a chair for her but refused to let her sit on it. Instead of submitting, she ordered a servant to kneel before her, creating a powerful statement of defiance. From that moment on, Nzinga's resistance escalated, using both diplomacy and military tactics to defend her people. Nzinga's brilliance as a strategist became evident as she led her forces in battle, using guerrilla tactics and forming alliances with neighboring tribes. Her fierce leadership made her a symbol of African resistance. Even when facing immense odds, Nzinga's determination never wavered. Her legacy serves as a powerful reminder of the strength and resolve of those who fought to preserve their land and culture. . In October 1962, the world teetered on the brink of nuclear war during the Cuban Missile Crisis. The world's superpowers, the United States and the Soviet Union, were locked in a tense standoff, and the single decision could have led to global destruction. It was in this high-stakes situation that Vasili Arkhipov, a Soviet naval officer, made a decision that would ultimately save millions of lives. While stationed on a Soviet submarine in the Caribbean, Arkhipov was part of a crew poised to launch a nuclear missile at the United States. However, despite orders from higher-ups, Arkhipov stood firm in his refusal to authorize the launch. In a moment of extraordinary calm under pressure, he prevented the escalation into nuclear war, single-handedly averting a catastrophe that could have wiped out much of humanity. Arkhipov's act of courage has been largely overlooked in history books, but his bravery in that moment undoubtedly saved the world from the devastation of nuclear conflict. His story serves as a reminder that, in the most critical of moments, one individual's voice can make the difference between life and death. Sophia Duleep Singh's story is one of tireless advocacy for equality, justice, and independence. Born into royalty, the daughter of the exiled Maharaja of Punjab, she could have easily enjoyed a life of comfort. Instead, Sophia chose to devote herself to two major causes: women's suffrage in the United Kingdom and India's fight for independence from British colonial rule. Sophia's legacy is one of bridging the gap between global struggles for freedom and equality. She connected the movements for women's rights in Britain and India's struggle for independence, becoming a symbol of cross-cultural solidarity and resistance against oppression. These 5 unsung heroes remind us that history is not only shaped by the famous and the powerful, it is also shaped by those who took risks, defied the odds, and stood up for what they believed in, regardless of the consequences. Mansa Sakura, Irena Sendler, Nzinga Mbande, Vasili Arkhipov, and Sophia Duleep Singh all left an indelible mark on history, but their stories are often forgotten. Let their stories inspire us to remember the courage, determination, and sacrifice of those who may never receive the recognition they deserve. We can all learn from their examples and continue to make a difference in our own ways. If you've learned something new today, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And leave a comment below. Let us know who you think should be included in the next episode of Unsung Heroes of History. Your suggestions could be the inspiration for the next great story.